यदा यदा हि धर्मस्य
ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्म विद्या संप्रदाय कर्तृभ्यो वंशऋषद्भ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः सर्वोपप्लवरहित प्रज्ञान घन प्रत्यगर्थो ब्रह्माहमस्मि सोहमस्मि ब्रह्माहमस्मि। ओम प्रपन्न पारिजाताय तोत्र वेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। May the Almighty Shri Lord Venkateshwara bestow all kinds of prosperity, health, wealth and eternal happiness with Paripurna Lakshmi Katakshams to you and the entire your family and friends. Let us begin Bhagavad Gita, verse number 12 of 16th chapter. Shri Bhagavan Uvacha Asha Pasha Shatayad Baddhaha कामक्रोधपरायणाः ईहन्ते कामभोगार्थम् अन्यायेनार्थसञ्चयान्. Bhagavan Krishna began to explain about Asuri Sampat from verse number 4. Now there are two kinds of Asuri Sampat which we saw. A lifestyle in which Dvesha is Pradhanam. Dvesha means hatred. A person's life which is predominated by hatred. He hates everything. The nature itself, he even hates his own life, he hates others, he hates the concept of God. So his life is constructed by the hate. That person is called as a Rakshasa, in whose life he just hurts others directly. No one is born as a wrong person because of the environment, the incidents and accidents which happens in his life, and there is no proper education to face the circumstances in our life. You think about all these terrorists, and you think about all the people who are Naxalites, and think about the people who have become criminals and who is not willing to become a criminal, but the time has made them to become criminals. All these things, it shows somewhere it went wrong with that person. What goes wrong? The Vedanta answers immediately, everything is because of his karma phala. But here we need not to imply the karma phala, because the concept of karma phala is to understand this body is because of karma phala. Whatever comes in front of me, it is because of karma phala, but I have free will. I can face every incidents and accidents, so which gives the experience of pain and pleasure. I should know how to face them. What I mean to say, that is in my hand. I can welcome, I can deny, or I can get it in different way. That's what is called free will. The free will is to be utilized properly to face our prarabdha. Prarabdha, that which provides every incident and accidents in our life. Their aim is to give the experience of happiness and pain. That's all. Now we have to accept the karma theory. Yes, so this body is because of karma phala, and the people around me is because of my karma phala, and the incidents which is taking place is because of my karma phala. But only one thing that is in my hand, that I can approach it proper way, with a proper way. So that has to be learnt. And education should help to construct the utilization of our free will properly. There where the education comes, there where the education should play a vital role. From young age, we should bring a proper education to the human being. Then they will construct them properly. So one should construct himself. That's what the education is. So we have to bring the knowledge of Papa and Punya from young age itself. And don't think it's very difficult. And people are not taught. Only, when we introduce any law, how we introduce, it should not be done like this. No one say, if a baby asks, Papa, why are you lying me? The same father who says, you should speak only truth. But if he lies in business place or for a business or with the relatives, so when somebody wants to see, somebody has visited to his home, being at home itself, he made his wife to say that he is not at home. Then baby looks at him. It becomes confused because, Papa taught me to not lie, but why he is doing that? That is wrong education. That should not be there. Therefore, every parents, they have to become very careful. In front of our children, we should not fight. In front of our children, we should not set an argument. In front of children, we should not even worry about the future. But in front of our children, we can plan for future. The positive approach, you should have the energy of positivity. We have to become, a source of positivity. So how can we become the source of positivity? Only by getting proper education. By bringing proper educations, we can construct the positivity. That is the proper infrastructure. Otherwise, society will be full of criminals and victimized by the incidents, circumstances. It shows, the person who doesn't have willpower. Bhagavan Krishna, he is a great acharya. He knows what and all goes wrong with the people. When a student goes to the school is full of students, and every student has got his own history. Like when you go to a river, you see there are so many stones, pebbles. Then you pick one and you ask, how long you been here? So how you came, into this shape, round shape? You look so nice. Then it will ask you, do you have age to listen to my history, my dear? Because it is there for thousands of years to become to this shape, to become such a shape which seems to be so nice around all over. Like that. So a student, when he goes to the school, before sending to the school, we should feed some kind of infrastructure, because that infrastructure should be planted by parents alone. Therefore, mother plays a vital role. So mothers should be taught about the 16th chapter. Asura Sampad won't help at all. When people are, the students or children are becoming adamant, we have to properly let them know it won't help. Because Asura Sampath, it won't help. And one more character which was introduced is, Raga Pradhana. That is known as Asura Sampath. They also gradually hurt the society. All these criminals and even, people who become terrorists, you just observe their life. So not planting proper education in the young age. That is the problem. And suddenly nobody can become like a villain. They don't have proper infrastructure. One person was there in my own city. He was a good person. He was not even having an argument with the people. He used to go to temple, and he used to go to even for the classes. So yoga classes, meditation classes will give mental health, but not infrastructure. Yoga classes will give a proper health, it will become strong. But you need to have a proper infrastructure of education regarding karma phala, regarding dharma, then people will become strong, in order to face their karma phala. Suddenly what happened, so once somebody became ill in his own family, some relative became ill and he was, craving for money. Nobody was ready to lend money to him as a loan. He craved and that person died. You know what happened? He became a looter. He started doing all kinds of corruption in his life and he became like a wealthy person. Now and then he go to jail and comes back. His total life, I could see in my own eyes the good person have become like that. So we become, worried about these kind of things. If we are thinking a little bit about the society, then we should know where problem arises. The problem arises, so which is to be neutralized when it is in the form of sprouts. In young age, one should be planted about this education. Asura Sampat won't help to have a happiest life. That's what Bhagavan is saying one by one. Asura Sampat has got Rakshasi and Asuri Sampat. Both, simultaneously he is doing both. See, in these words, Asha Pasha Satai Baddhaha. They are bound people. Who? There's Rakshasi Sampat people or Asura Sampati. Asura Sampati people, Asusura Mantri. They always become very happy through sensory pleasures. For those people, Asha Pasha Satair Baddhaha. They are bound by the strings of hundreds of expectations. So many expectations. They were not taught what really they want. Their mind is scattered. If a person, a cricketer, if he becomes famous, they want to become a cricketer. If an actor who is praised by everyone, who earns lots of money, they want to be an actor. If a politician is becoming popular, they want to be a politician. So finally, that they want to grab power, money for the sake of enjoyment. Their mind is always in the enjoyment. Kama Krodha Parayana. Either they will be endowed with desire or they will be endowed with anger. So both, Kama, Krodha Parayana. Kama Pradhana people are called Asura people. Krodha Pradhana people are called Rakshasi people. Now the Buddhi should become aware about the gati of our mind, a flow of mind. So we are following means we are chasing behind what? We are chasing what? Are we chasing money? Are we chasing pleasure? We are doing both. And if we want to become happiest person, we should stop chasing money. Following. I mean, earning money in wrong way. That's what Bhagavan says, Kama bhoga artham anyayena artha sanchayan ihante. They make effort to earn lots of money even with wrong means. That's what, anyayena means by unrighteous way. Kama bhoga artham, in order to become joyful life. Like, short ways. They follow for short ways. All these gamblings are short way. They lose lots of money. Still, their brain will be bugging them to go and invest again and again and again. Therefore, all these gamblings comes under this Asuri Sampat. So all kinds of criminal activities, it comes under Rakshasi attitude. So if our mind is willing to go for gambling or go for even, there are people, who earn money through share market. It's okay, we are not against of any this kind of people. But we have to think, they lose their life, they lose their enjoyment because completely deluded their mind. Buddhi, it leads in wrong way. they cannot become happy. They cannot means not. Therefore, we are saying the share market also, it creates a kind of nasha, that alcoholic impressions, impacts. It should not be there. It will victimize a human being. We should not be a spiritual person. So who enjoys happiness for every second. So once we get the knowledge of Shastra, and these characters which becomes big hindrance, obstacles for spiritual growth. When you go to Bhagavad Gita classes, slowly, we should not leave it. Now and then mind won't get involved with the lessons. Sometimes, you may feel this subject matter is so dry. So dry means what? It's not attractive. So attractive means what? The movie is attractive. In order to take a movie, they spend lots of time to discuss about the stories, to discuss about every scene, They construct every scene. In order to shoot a single shot, they take so many takes. They call it takes, Sometimes, there are more than 30 takes I have seen in Rishikesh. There are, even people, like to shoot in Rishikesh because of Ganges, beautiful places. They used to take lots of shootings. When you see directly shootings, you become bored like anything. But when you go to the theaters, so there you enjoy. They occupy your mind for 3 hours in order to attract, in order to, pull you towards that every incident of the movie. They bring songs, fight, and all kinds of emotions, sometimes jokes, sometimes, tragedies, violence. Mind becomes struck with that. But Vedanta doesn't bring anything. It doesn't involve any masalas in that. And Vedanta doesn't have hero or villain. Vedanta says you are the hero, you are the villain. When Vedanta says you are the hero, you become happy. Oh yeah, it talks about me, So that's my glory, I'm like that. But same Vedanta says, you are the villain. First it introduces you are the hero. You are everything. Then it will talk about your Asura Sampat and all kinds of Rakshasa and Asura Sampat. Then you will find all Sampat I do have. That's what, in the next words also, Bhagavan is going to bring. Vedanta is not attractive, many people, so people go behind yoga. The people go behind meditation. And a huge amount of people are ready to listen to Bhagavatam. But Bhagavatam is something different, that is full of Vedanta. But still people are, attracted to the stories, and every story should have a climax and beginning and suspense, thrilling. But Vedanta also has suspense, thrilling, but this is different. Vedanta is a film. It's not about only 3 hours. Vedanta is a film. The duration of film is your lifetime. There are so many chasings, crying, songs, fighting, but not to attract you by victimizing you. And all is this because of what? Because of our karma phala. In order to understand Vedanta, when you started understanding Vedanta, my God, this is more than a cinema. You can enjoy every second in your life thereafter. Once you understand Vedanta. The Vedanta, it seems to be very dry in the beginning. Sometimes, at one point of time, it will click in your mind. Once you are clicked, my God, oh my God. So when I studied, when I started studying Vedanta, for 8 months I was not at all into the subject matter of Vedanta. Though we were attracted to Shastra, but Vedanta in a way is talking about me and the world and the Ishvara. And why should I come to know all these people? I should know how to earn money, that's all. And I started learning Vedanta is because of my punya karma. One of my guru, he said, when I was in Ramakrishna mission, at that time one sadhu, one Swami said, you have to study Vedanta, my dear. I feel you can assimilate them. Then I started, because I value the great people's message, because that sannyasi, my God, so that's my fortunate to live with him. And because of him, I started studying Vedanta, but still up to 8 months there was nothing, nothing went inside. So everything was going inside, but nothing was clicked. Then one day, suddenly I could get connected with the subject matter. Because when you come across with so many incidents and accidents, that one day I could identify myself with Arjuna. Then I started studying from the beginning. Though the class was going on more than 7 chapters, then I started pursuing from the first chapter. Then I started studying what Arjuna wanted to know from Krishna. Though they were living for more than 40 years together, was there anything to communicate? Was there anything important to share? After living together as a closest friends, yes, there was message. Then what Arjuna wanted to have, what Arjuna was lacking, he was also king. What Krishna was not lacking. My brain started working. I started studying about the first chapter first. Then I was able to understand. Whether we accept or not, that life is like a battlefield. Every second there is a chance to take a decision of life. It may go wrong or right. It means what? In the battlefield, when you are fighting, every second, every single decision you have to be careful with, otherwise your life will be lost. Like this, in the same way, every second we have to become alert, aware, whether I am committing dharma or adharma. If I am keeping myself mum, that becomes adharma. Therefore what? We should become very much aware with what is going within us, what is going around us. Then we can understand Vedanta. Then we can identify the hero within us, the villain within us. And we can also gain a knowledge from a guru. Then we can find guru within us. This is what the beauty of Vedanta. So Vedanta is a long size movie. It's a lengthy movie. The lifetime is the duration of Vedanta. It's a huge movie. All characters are nothing but you, nothing but me. Therefore Vedanta becomes so, very joyful once it is clicked to you. And that Vedanta, when it talks about the villain within me, you become alert with that villain. Now, one more villain is introduced. Every verse, there are villains are introduced in these verses. A villain who always, hang over with the profit benefit. If you give 1,000 rupees of money, they will multiply. Every day they check the amount of money. I have achieved this much. So today I have achieved this much, they become happy. Tomorrow I will earn this much. And the next month I will be earning this much. The next year, next to next year, in 5 years, in 20 years. Like they will keep on planning. And they will be executing also. Their breath becomes money. Mind becomes money. Not only money. Through money, what and all I can get. I can go to Paris, I can go to Swiss, I can go to Bhutan, I can go to the place wherever I want in this planet Earth. Even in future we may plan to go to moon. So from moon I would like to see the Earth. Maybe it will come soon, because human beings, we are brilliant enough to expand ourselves. That's good. The progress in science is very good, but we should not be victimized by the villain within us. That is what is very important. Let us read this verse. Idam adyamaya labdham idam prapsye manoratham idam asti idam api me bhavishyati punardhanam. These money-minded people, they don't respect their own self, They don't give importance to their health. They don't give importance to their spouse. They don't give importance to their children. They don't know how to bring the children up. They know only earning money. And they don't go for any functions. Only, they become mad about money. That is a villain. That's what it says, Adya maya idam labdam. Today I have earned this much. So this much money is earned by me today. Tomorrow I will be having this much. Manoratha means he will be, floating in the imaginary world. But he will make effort and achieve it. The lifetime is wasted. Always chasing for future. So only numbers, that numbers, they become like machines. Mechanical life. Imaginary life. Then the next verse. So this 13 verse talks about Asura Sampat, the Raga oriented Buddhi. In the 14th verse, the Dvesha oriented Buddhi is introduced. Hasau maya hata shatruhu hanishye chaparanapi ishvarohamaham bhogi siddhoham balavan sukhi. So these many people have been killed by me. Wow, I am, a Lord. I have defeated so many people. In future also, I will be thrashing all of my enemy. No enemy can withstand in front of me. You think about Narakashura, Banashura, and Mahishasura, Sumbha Nishumbhas, Sura Padmas, all these demons, they proclaim themselves as Ishvara. Ishvaraha aham. Aham Ishvaraha. Aham bhogi. Aham siddhaha. Aham balavan. Aham sukhi. I am the Lord. I am the creator of the Jagat. Ravaneshwara was like that. He was able to rule even Navagrahas. So all planets, If you want to enjoy Puranas, you should study Itihasa. If you want to enjoy the Itihasa, then you should be backed up by Puranas. We have to, you have to thank Vyasaji, who gave, 18 kinds of gems, 18 Puranas and 18 Upapuranas. Then there is one more Purana which is known as Devi Bhagavata Purana. We need to have, lifetime. And people are confused. What to be done? I'm bored. There are so many Puranas. Every Purana takes years to complete them. And there is one Purana called Bhavishya Purana. Do you know what does it mean? The Purana which talks about the future. You go and study, you can find, similarity that whatever the progress have been, achieved by the people, it is said over there. But you should know how to understand them. Okay, the time is up. We'll continue tomorrow in the next episode. Hari Om, Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Om Purnamadah Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.